fellow collectors, what's going on today? Today we are reviewing a gold label DC Multiverse McFarlane Amazon exclusive Lobo and Spacehog. So as you see, we have this rather large box, and what I'm talking about is 19 inches long, 7 inches tall, and 9 inches thick. So if you're expecting a small box, this is a rather large box. So here we can see some artwork of Lobo. If I turn it over, you can see Lobo here with his space hog and his little bulldog companion. If I continue to flip it over, you'll see the product shot here. Lobo with a new guitar, new hairstyle, and the package contents. Now, if we look on the side, we have Lobo and Spacehog, Justice League of America. As for the bottom is concerned, some instructions. This is what it is. This is what it comes with. This is how you set the dog. This is how you set the I can't say guitar. So this is how you set the guitar and all of the other stuff. So how much does this sucker weigh? Now, before you go to Amazon and figure that out, put it on the scale. The scale says 2 pounds, 14.6 ounces. So let's get Lobo and the Space Hog out of the box and see how cool they are. Okay, now that we have them out of the box, I noticed something that was a little odd. No card. Even Fulcrum Abominus had a card. So luckily I have a card from the prior Lobo. Here we go. Please pause to read. So as we look at what we got here, first we see we've got a Lobo stand. This Lobo stand has a hole in the middle of it, and that's for this peg piece. Simply just stand there, and there you go, the peg. The next thing we have is an alternate head. Man, this is crazy. Look at that. Definitely a Lobo looking face. Next we have the Space Hog. A little bulldog. That's a Space Hog. This is a bulldog. Now there is no articulation in this guy. I would hope the head would have some, but alas, nothing but a spike. So very good looking bulldog here. The next accessory is this guitar looking thing here, and you'll notice it has the main man on it and a couple of exhausts. Now this is the basic mold that came with Batman in the Dark Metal series, and I have seen it used other times, but it's hollow on this side. You can see the Lobo logo on the back. That is the only redeeming quality on the back, but this at least has a lot of detail in it. A couple of skulls there in red. It's nice they added the cords, and he has this little like shotgun here, electric slide looking development here. Okay. All right, so next we have the chain. and the hook. This goes around his arm. And now we have Lobo himself. Let me back it up a little bit. Get him all into the frame. Now we look at this Lobo. You say, wait a minute. Haven't we seen this Lobo before with a head? And you would say, yes, we have. This body style looks very familiar. And you would be right. Here is the Lobo DC Rebirth and the new version. If we look at them, we see just a few different details. Shirt, pants look different. This one's shinier. But everything else is pretty much the same, except for the heads. Now, if I bring in the heads, you can see these guys are looking different. We have the blue, black highlights. No blue highlights in this guy, but definitely that big old grin from Lobo. Now the Lobo's vest here, highly detailed, connected to the top part of his chest, rubberized. Still has the Bite Me fanboy on the back. Same artwork, just a little bit different paint. Different skulls. Nope, same skulls, just painted better on this version. Now, as we look around the rest of it, same arms as before. Skull on the pant buckle, belt buckle. The kneecaps. And there we go. So if I bring in my other Lobo here, this is the DC Universe Collect to Connect figure. And we see he's a little bit smaller than that. But I always loved the fact that he came with a chain that was a chain and not a plastic piece that goes around his arm. Now, as far as articulation goes, this guy, when he has his head on right, can look a little up, a little down, left and right. Arm comes out of T. Ball socket makes it go around. Arm swivel here at the elbow. Double bend. The wrist rotation. My bicep swivel doesn't want to swing, but we have it here. As far as ab crunch goes, the diaphragm and everything, little bit going on there. As far as waist articulation, just like the other one, just a little bit going there. Legs, barely do a split, but do a little bit of one. You get a little bit of the rotation here at the thigh. Double bend in the knee, and that ball joint is hidden by the pant leg here. He does have a toe bend, the outside boot with a hole for stands. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is this head comes with its own ball joint, because they figure that people will, I suspect, they figure that people will be switching out these heads. So you have to remove the ball joint completely from the other figure to get it in there. And once you do, you have your crazy looking head. Ta-da! That's very nice. So let me take him out of the way. Get him put over here to the side. Now let's look at the hog piece here. There's the front. There's the handlebars. And if we look at the bottom, I have more hollow going on. Now, if we're just looking at the rest of the hog, the front of it has some nice details going on down to the engine. Notice those paint scuffs and everything, that dry brush going on here. We look at the engine on the side, the front of it, side of the bike. And we see that this is once again hollow on the inside. There's the peg hole. And we got a little grate here on this side. Other engines looking the same. So to attach the hog, basically take the peg hole, stick it there. But first, we're going to attach these parts here. Holes for the handlebar. Just simply attach them in, and you want to line it up. We got the front here. This needs to be lined up first. My bad. So you want to just take that, slide it in there. Take these, slide them in the hole, and then push till you hear that satisfying snap. And there we go. There's the Space Hog with that piece. Now, getting to the length. We're looking, and yes, this thing is 20.5 inches long. We're getting at 6 at that point right there. And the widest point is 8.5 inches. So yeah, this is a pretty big piece for your shelves. So if we have this, take it, put it on there, and there we go. Now it does rotate on there, like so. So all good. Now the instructions have you putting the bulldog right there. And so there we have him riding on the back of the bike. Very good. And so the first thing I noticed is this thing is a little back heavy. So just be wary of that. Now let's go ahead and get the main man on here. All right, there we have the main man on it. So we can see that this is definitely a cool piece to have in your collection. And like I say, the bulldog is on the back. And this thing's definitely wide, so be aware. So this definitely will be a nice addition to my Lobo shelf that I'm going to now have to create. Because having two figures, okay, that was fine. But then, you know, now I have to have a little bit of display shelf for this guy and his hog. So, And I might actually take this head and put it on this Lobo, because to tell you the truth, I never really liked this head. It was a little off-putting, but you'll notice the peg did come out of this, so you can just put it on there. And since it is the same basic mold, it fits fine. So yeah, I think I like that one head a little better. So if you collect this or others, this is an exclusive piece to Amazon, so head on over to Amazon and see if any's left for you. And until next time, guys, like, subscribe, and keep